What up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Pearl Daily. Today, we're going to talk about what modern woman addictions are worse than a high body count. So as you guys know, we're in the age of modern women. We're sexually liberated, high body count modern women. And in this space, we always talk about how having a high body count is a bad thing. Yes, modern women might as well be called sex addicts for all the Chads and Tyrones that they are sleeping with. But I would argue there are worse addictions for modern women than sleeping around. Modern women are spending more money than they ever have. These women will spend their money, your money, the government's money, everybody's money. I mean, think about it, guys. A prostitute who pays for herself, is she really worse than a quote unquote virtuous woman who lives off of the system or spends so much money that her husband becomes a workhorse? So the average woman spends $560,000 to $100,000 more in her lifetime than the average man. Let that sink in for a second. Imagine if you met two women. One had a high body count and the other had $200,000 in student debt because she was addicted to getting a bunch of degrees, or she's addicted to being an entrepreneur, or spending her money on a business that isn't profitable. Which one are you picking? This may sound like a hypothetical, but think about it. Most women feel entitled to a certain lifestyle no matter what their body count is. Virgins to whores spend way too much money on clothes, food, traveling, and all sorts of crap. You know, because it's like you got the one woman, maybe she cheats on you, right? And that's an L. But it's an L you don't have to pay for, right? It's an L that won't cost you $200,000 worth of student debt, loan debt. So this begs the question, what addictions do women have that are worse than their addictions to getting their back blown out by Chad and Tyrone? So we're going to watch some TikToks, and then I do have a special guest in today that I will show you guys in a bit that's going to weigh in, and then we're going to do a call-in show. So the first we're going to show is an Amazon addiction. Is it the Try now? Okay.
Without buying anything.
Is it the setting, maybe?
It's fine. You hear anything?
I can't hear anything.
1 hour.
I can, though.
1 hour. 1 hour.
I'll play it as long as the audience can hear it.
Hour. Without buying anything on Amazon. So far, I think I'm doing good. I do have a strong craving to click on the app, but I know if I do, I might relapse.
Yeah, so she's saying it's been an hour without ordering anything on Amazon. How much do you guys really spend on Amazon? At least the whore gives you a good experience, right? Now, I'm not saying you guys should wife up whores, but is a career woman addicted to losing money better than a whore? I mean, if let's say she has a low body count.
Ordered so much from Amazon that they delivered in this.
My packages in this huge box thing because I guess I had so many packages. Well, I opened all of them up and all of this is what's in this huge thing. You guys, I need to stop ordering from Amazon.
Okay, we got that woman there. We got this woman.
What?
Her poor husband, look, he's so tired. He's so over it.
Dude,
What?
have a problem.
What do you
You
mean?
have a problem.
It's just 2 packages.
No, this is the third one today. Like, dude.
All right, what do we got next?
Just got home from our vacation and I have all of these Amazon packages from things I ordered for Prime Day. I'm gonna try to fit every single thing into this one video. Got some parchment paper. This is 6-inch, this is 9-inch. It's to go in the bottom of my cake pans. This is my favorite little tank top. I have it in white, but I wanted to order it in black. I got it in a size bigger though because the armholes are a little bit small. But I'm so excited to have this for the rest of summer. These are disposable piping bags, also for baking. Okay, that same tank top again, but I got it in light gray. I feel like this one might be my favorite.
You need 2 shirts the exact same in a slightly different color. Damn.
Favorite out of the white and the black. I got this 5-piece wooden utensil set. I'm trying to get rid of all of the plastic in my kitchen, and wooden's just a better option. So really, we just got a bunch of little like wooden spatulas and spoons.
Yeah, oh, and this is the stuff you have to watch out. Whenever health companies are very good at convincing women we're dying all the time. Really good at it. So like first it's the microplastics, and then you got to get all this expensive water stuff. Then now it's the plastics that you're cooking with are bad. Now you got to order the wood. Next year it's going to be the wood is bad. So now she's got to order the plastics bad. You know, it's going to be a new thing every year.
And then these little tongs. And I got a bunch of Soja's glasses, but I think I'm just gonna make like a dedicated video on them. I got so many. I have a few that I really love right now, and they're just fun to have a bunch of different styles. Absolutely, this was probably one of the best deals for Prime Day. I only have like this much left of my full bottle, and then I ran out of my small bottle in California. Some more of the Amino Lean RSP Nutrition, like Alex Earl energy drinks. The berry elixir flavor tastes so good. Another restock of one of my favorite products. This is the pink deodorant. Redken When United. I have a big bottle and it still has plenty in it, but for traveling, I just wanted to get a smaller one. This is like the lifesaver for my hair. And then of course, some more Mighty Patches. Got a restock of our Dawn Power Wash, like the dish spray. It has like the nice little sprayer. It makes doing dishes so much easier. I think I have like 1 bottle of restock left, so this will just be going in like our pantry. Alan also got 1 package and he wants to show you what he got. The difference between us on Prime Day. What did you get?
Momentous supplements, and I got Tonga Ali, which
he has abs. He has abs now.
boost testosterone, but I also get my creatine, sometimes protein, and other supplements from them. High quality, I recommend them.
Got another one of these like little Alex Earl clip-on lights to your phone. I have a few of them and I'm always misplacing them, but they really do make the best photos. It comes with a little charger, comes with the phone clip. It also comes with like a tripod mount, but I don't use that piece. And I also got some little cake boxes for whenever I make my cakes. I've just been making a few recently for like birthdays and stuff, and I never have a good way to transport them. That's everything that I got from Amazon Prime Day besides the Samsung Frame TV. That comes tomorrow, but just imagine it'll look like that, and it is going in our bedroom. If you want any of this, I have a link to my Amazon store.
Okay. Now, the next thing we have is an expensive coffee addiction. Now, I got to be honest, guys. If I'm going to criticize this, I am guilty. Okay, guilty as charged. I do love expensive coffee, but I recently just found McDonald's coffee is just as good. So I might quit Starbucks soon. Probably not.
So I'm living in Queens, which is fabulous. Love it. But I go to school at the new school, which is in like lower Manhattan, in Greenwich Village, right by Union Square. It is like so expensive. It's unfathomable. Like you walk off campus, you want a nice coffee, $8. It's insanity. So here I will be, sitting in my apartment, drinking my iced coffee made with instant coffee. Cafe Busuelo for the win.
Yeah, so some of these lattes, guys, they get expensive. They can be like $8 your order. And if you get that every day, it's $250 a month times 12. It's $3,000 a year you're spending on coffee. I'm not saying it's the worst addiction in the world, but especially if you're getting multiple people, it can get expensive. Or multiple times a day. Okay, let's go.
My friend who constantly complains about money to stop buying expensive coffee every day. I, 29 female, have a close friend, 31 female, who constantly complains about being broke and not being able to save money. She's always stressed about it. We're close enough that we talk about finances often, so I know a fair amount about her situation. I'm not judging her financial decisions, but one thing she does every single day is buy a $6 coffee. I suggested that maybe cutting out this habit could help her save a little extra, especially if she's really feeling the cost of living crisis. She got really defensive and said that her coffee is her only daily splurge and accused me of being condescending. It got pretty heated and now she's barely speaking to me.
Friend's barely talking to her because she said to stop buying coffee. Someone said, I deliver for Amazon and I'm at the same houses every day. It's so funny when the husband asks if it finally is for him. Nope, it never is. Okay, we got this one.
Listen, I feel like I blinked and now coffee is like $8 in the United States. I was just in France for 2 weeks and there I could get an espresso for like €1.50 and I could get a cafe double, which is like a double espresso for like €2.50. I think the max I paid was €3. And here we're allowing them to charge us like $5 for a coffee or $6, which I paid more recently for one that was fun. And if you want really fun, you're looking at like $8. We can't accept this. I was in Rome 3 years ago and my friend and I were walking around and we were shopping. She's originally from there. And I was like, I'm dying, I'm fading, I need some coffee. And she's like, oh yeah, go over there, you can get a coffee. I literally put down €1, €1 coin, boom. And I got an espresso. I always make my coffee at home because I think that it's such like a price gouge and I will gladly continue to be making it because it is ridiculous out here.
Yeah, so I want you guys to think, because I'm going to keep going through these, about expensive addictions of women that you've dated. Because we're going to do a call-in after we go through some of these TikToks. So I want to know, what addictions do you look for that you might think that woman is too expensive for you?
The problem once you start traveling so often is that...
All right, so we got a travel addiction.
The problem once you start traveling so often is that becomes your baseline.
This is so true. As someone who travels very often, I feel like I have to outdo myself for the last trip. Example, last year I went to Mykonos, Greece by myself. Spent the entire week on the beach, getting massaged, just relaxing, enjoying my time, having a fantastic time. Right now, I am in Geneva, Switzerland, and I just returned from the mountains in France, where I skied the entire week with a ski group of Black people. And I'm about to go back to France so I can chill in my favorite city ever, Paris. It's like traveling gives me this adrenaline rush. And even though I am somewhat sick right now and have to get to the airport very soon, I love this feeling. And I'm already planning the next trip. Like, what is wrong with me? And for those wondering, yes, I did vlog this entire.
Yeah, who is paying for these trips? I looked it up. The average trip's like $5,000, especially if it's international. Okay, let's see.
In like 2022, I got really addicted to going on trips and like traveling. I mean, aren't we all addicted to traveling? But I knew it was getting out of hand. That I was getting way too comfortable booking trips all the time. No planning, no financial responsibility going through my head. I knew I was getting too comfy with it when I started booking full trips. I'm talking like flight, hotels, the whole thing on my phone. Because that is such a computer activity. If you're booking a trip, it's just something you do in your computer, not your phone. That's crazy. I knew I was getting way too comfy when I was booking full-on trips just on my phone while I'm like at the grocery store or whatever. I really had to reel it back in the last few years.
Okay, let's see who's next.
For the past few years, I really hated my life. So I did what I do best, run away from my problems, literally. My life was not going how I had planned or hoped. Ending a long-term relationship, hating my job, navigating my parents' divorce. For years, I felt...
How traumatized can you really be if you get divorced, if your parents get divorced as an adult? Now, I'm not trying to be insensitive here, but like, you're raised. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're raised. It's not at that point, who cares? Do you know what I mean? Like, only women are going to do the whole sob story thing when you get divorced. Your parents get divorced at like 30. It's like, how you're seeing them a couple times a year anyways, most people.
Felt so stuck and frustrated, and I couldn't take it, so I took off. I went and traveled alone to so many new places, any chance to escape my life, my anger and frustration. Well, because who's sad on vacation, right? And so what if I had to travel alone? I was trying to escape from everyone anyway. So although solo travel may have started off as an escape for me, I really love it so much now. I mean, I've always loved traveling.
Women don't care about their safety, to be fair. Why should men care about our safety if we don't? We're like traveling to other countries by ourselves. And let's be honest, we're not overly responsible as a group. I just can't imagine we're taking proper safety precautions, really.
Since our world is
Steve M says, what are you, 12? Get over it.
such a big and beautiful place, and I want to see all of it. I want to experience life in a new country, try new foods, try new things. And what I love about solo travel specifically is the freedom. I love the satisfaction and confidence that I gain from doing it on my own.
She likes the confidence she gets from having sex with hot guys at hostels. That's the translation, if you guys are wondering.
I love how I've been slowly healing myself on my journey.
Healing means riding some dick in different countries. So I think that's Italy, maybe there, Venice. So, or maybe Amsterdam, I can't really see. But she's either going for the tall blonde man. Women are going to pick a place based on their type or what they want to try. Okay, so if she's going to Switzerland, she's going for money. Okay, if she's going to England, accents. If she's going to Greece, I don't know, maybe she likes the Greek men. Whatever it is.
And I love how fun it is.
To ride dick. That's what she might not have said that explicitly, but that's what she meant.
And even though it's still scary to travel alone sometimes, I think it's so worth it. Tackling solo travel showed me that I can do it.
She can do a lot of people and no one will find out.
Be okay. Even though life is hard and sometimes it really freaking sucks.
She's sucking on vacation.
You can look back on your solo travels and say, I did that. That's why I want to show
I did him.
you if I can do it, you can do it too. So, hi, I'm Vania, your solo travel bean, and thanks for coming along on my solo travel healing journey. I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah, basically, I dumped my boyfriend to go ride around the world, if you catch my drift. All right, let's see who's next.
Y'all,
we got to guess their type based on where they're going.
Y'all, I just thought about it. I cracked the code. I need a friend or husband that's a pilot. And boom, baby, we out every week. That's it. So if somebody get their pilot license or somebody become a pilot or if somebody knows a pilot, yeah, have them hit my line.
You know, when you fly a private plane, you have to pay for the gas. It's actually pretty expensive. You can't just, I don't know if can pilots freely fly people on their plane? Like flight attendant? I don't know if they're allowed to do that because I think too many people would take advantage of that.
Male or female, I'm open to both. I don't discriminate based on gender. But a pilot, that's the one.
If she's in corporate America, I think she's probably going for the white guys or I would, guess she might go to, because people tend to pick industries, women at least, based on their type. That's what it looks like. Or maybe it looks like it could be a classroom. Maybe she likes teenagers. You've seen the teachers these days. I like the popular high school boys. Sorry, guys. Careful with these teachers. But today we got a special guest. We have Shiv here in the studio. We're working on our private community on the school group. And essentially, guys, this is really buying into the future of this channel. My network is crazy. And what I want to do is I want to bring on all the smart, intelligent men that have made millions of dollars, slept with hundreds of women, and just that are really accomplished in all these different fields and have them bring on private content for you guys and give presentations where you guys can directly ask questions. But this is, I got to make sure that you guys are, the internet's a little weird, so I got to make sure you guys are normal, right? And that you're committed to being a part of this. So we do have a link in the description if you are interested, but this week we're bringing on one of the best PUAs I've ever seen to film some content. So if you guys have specific questions you guys want me to ask him, I saw this guy bring home 3 different women in a weekend. He knows what he's doing. They were all pretty hot. So I did a vlog. It was one of my first things on this channel ever before I had to clear it. And it, like the whole vlog, I'm just like, oh, the coaches polled again. They polled again, and it would just be all these different women. Is there anything I missed, Shiv?
No, you nailed it.
Cool. So, what do you think about the topic?
Oh my God, the just like I've seen girls waste money on the silliest things, and it's like wild, like the stuff I've seen girls I've dated spend money on. Like one of them like would just keep buying like nail cutters because they keep losing them, and it was like to a point where at one point I like took her phone and like looked up on Amazon, and she ordered it 20 times over the last 6 years.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, that's insane. Like just put it in your purse or something.
Right.
So yeah, dumb spending is
Is there anything like you, because it's interesting, you could probably afford a lot of their habits, but is there anything where you're just like, I don't care, I am not paying for that?
Well, I can afford, I'll never fly private planes. Like even like,
I know, but like if you're vetting a girl to be with you like long term, maybe, is there any habit that like you may think that's got to go?
I mean, I think like designer clothes, like all the name brand stuff, I think it's so stupid, especially because like you think about like all the technology that's in an iPhone and it's $1,000, and then a piece of fabric supposed to be $2,000, or a purse is supposed to be $5,000. I do have a few designer things gifted to me as gifts because I have like rich friends, but I think that's so disgusting. If she wants to buy like some.
Have you ever had a girl ask you to buy her something like that?
On her, my ex-girlfriend on her birthday, but I took her to like, I took her to Zara and just said, buy a few items here.
So she asked you for something designer?
Yeah, she wanted to buy something from like Gucci or whatever. And I'm like, we can go to Zara and you can pick up a few items. So yeah, I just think the principle of it's really stupid.
I know a woman that she's really into plastic surgery, and she gave me her expenses for the year. She's like a little bit older, not that old, but like she's like late 30s, early 40s. What do you think she spent a year on plastic surgery? Like filler, Botox, under eye?
So like 10?
Yeah, you're right. 10 grand. It was about
$10,000 a year. Wow.
So like over the course,
like that's like $1,000. That's like $800 a month.
Yeah, to be fair, I think she like paid for it herself. But if you assumed a guy, that's $100K.
Yeah, but when women say they paid for it themselves, it's because they don't have to pay for food or dinner. If they date guys, like like that's the part of the gender wage gap I always find funny too. It's like, what about all the freebies girls get?
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Like first off, we all know the gender wage gap is bullshit, but like, yeah, that never gets accounted for. That like they don't pay for a lot of stuff.
You know what else I've heard? Expensive gym addictions.
Gym?
Yeah, like I did a space once, and put the link in the chat because I want to bring up guys to tell me what you guys have seen. But one thing I've heard from men is that they don't want to pay for like a $250 a month gym.
Yep.
Like the gym addictions add up. The charity addictions, like a lot.
The women's charity, it's not charity. Like it's just virtue signaling. Like,
well, it's charity with their husband's money.
Right.
You know what? Like, Rich Wives Fund. You met him. He worked for PETA.
Oh yeah.
And he told me that they call like rich men's wives. They fund PETA.
Oh, I believe it. No, it's so bad. My friend's girlfriend works for a huge charity in San Francisco, and it's the dumbest causes I've ever seen in my life. And it's always the husbands. And in fact, Mark Zuckerberg has a charity, and it's named after his wife first.
Of course.
And then his name's tacked on at the end. And I'm like, that's crazy to me. It's all his money. So, yeah.
What about like a social media addiction? Has that ever affected any of your relationships?
I can't stand girls that, I don't mind if she's on her phone if we're not doing anything important, but like on a dinner date or something, that's such a huge turn off. Also, girls who take way too many photos, unless they're like, it's their job or something. But no, to me, the like, if you're holding your phone recording an entire concert, it's like, you realize like you could just go on YouTube and watch this concert. Like you know what I mean?
Do you know what I never understood? I never understood travel pictures. Like if you go somewhere and you take a picture.
Yeah, without the person in it, right? You're saying like they just take a photo of a mountain that you can Google search?
Couldn't I just
I don't get it either.
Couldn't I just Google the picture and like get a better one?
It's so dumb.
I don't know. I mean, maybe people want to remember how it was the day that whatever, but I just never I was like, I mean, I get it like with you guys there, but like,
I don't
just,
get,
like,
like if I go to the Himalayas and take a photo of the Himalayas, like there isn't 8 trillion better photos by real photographers of the same thing.
Yeah, like when we were in college, you like travel for volleyball, and I just remember we went to like Denver, and it's very pretty there.
Yeah.
Everyone was taking pictures, and I'm like, I would understand pictures like with people or like yourself, but like just to the mountain. Aren't there a million pictures of a mountain that are better than what you're
I think a lot of women think they're photographers. They think they're artists, right? They want to add a filter to it to be artsy. And then let's be honest, they're taking that photo just to let other girls know that they dated a better man than them, right? Like, oh, my man took me to Machu Picchu.
Oh, that's so true.
Of course, they'll exclude who's paying for it, but they'll be like, manifesting in Machu Picchu. This mountain reminds me of the futures I have, or whatever shit.
Yeah. Is Doug MPA on the line? Or I don't know. He might have had something at work today, so I'm not sure if he's coming on. I'm not gonna have anything else. Okay. But the link's in the chat, right? Okay, cool. Designer. Oh, designer clothes, social media addiction. Oh, bullshit degrees addiction.
Oh my God.
Or businesses that operate at a loss addiction. You know,
dude,
like
I know so many rich, like successful men that they have a business where the wife's losing 10 to 30 grand a month.
And they get these awards.
Yeah.
They get like awards for business and they all are unprofitable.
I have a really close friend of mine. He's been my friend for like 15 years. And his dad just sold his company for like $100+ million, right? And this is in India. And the wife has all these businesses now that are just bleeding money. Mm-hmm. And they're like, basically, the husband told me like that they made $100 million after taxes and everything. And now they're down to about 60 million. She spent $40 million.
$40 million
in the last few years just running bullshit things. Or she's like really addicted to collecting like Persian carpets. So she'll spend like $5 million on a Persian rug with like some history to it and artwork. That's the thing. Women always love to blow money on art. Like just shit on a canvas.
Oh, that's a terrible addiction.
Yeah. Because it's like,
I never thought of that one.
Yeah. And it's bad. Like it's so bad. I'm like, how do you spend $40 million in 3 years on just bullshit? I don't even understand.
Plastic surgery addiction. I'm not against, I mean, we've kind of talked about, I'm not against plastic surgery that's done well, right? Like Melania Trump, she should have got everything she got done. She looks great. You know, Ivanka Trump, you know, they look great. But if there's no ROI on how you look,
right?
Do you know, like, what's the...
Well, I don't get it.
And how much do you want to spend, right? Are you rich enough to afford these surgeries?
I just don't get it once they're married, if it's not the husband's idea too, right?
Yeah, like some women, you know, their husbands want boobs.
Yeah, if it's a mutual, like if it's like for the husband or whatever, and the husband actually wants it. But for me,
the husband has to actually want it.
Yeah, because like for me, there's certain things I like about a girl that if she just does plastic surgery, you know, I was turned on with the previous way it looked. It's like, I get maybe it's not mainstream, but yeah, I would be so pissed. It's like, I married that. That's why I married you without the plastic. Right?
Yeah. And who's it for?
Yeah. Who's it for? It's the monkey branch.
Yeah. Daily. Now you're paying for her.
Now
next.
I'm paying for her next guy. It's awesome. Love that.
Daily Driver. Thank you for the super chat. Guys, call in. Jessica B, no BBLs. Look, they're getting good nowadays, to be honest. I'm just being honest, guys. You guys think that you can always tell. Some of them are done pretty well. I wouldn't be able to tell. I've looked at now I question how it'll age, but like Lana Rhoades, I was looking at her butt. It looks fine, to be honest. I'm just being honest, guys. That girl had like ass shots. I don't think most of you guys would be able to tell. Now, to be fair, I haven't felt them. I'm straight. So you guys will have to go in there, do the dirty work, get back to me. But
do you think, how many guys do you think get married thinking their girl's natural and she had a lot of work done?
A ton.
So do you think, like, obviously it'll never get passed, but like that would be a policy if you get married, like that should be revealed before you get married, right?
Yeah. Women
never
will never let that happen. Like, I don't think men can tell as much as they think. Like, I was on that show Punchy TV with the Christian guys.
Oh, right.
And I was telling them there's different surgeries that like will be better for different types of, like if you're going for the rappers, a BBL, they love BBL.
Yeah.
But if you're going for like the elite rich, like the rich men, you're probably going to need some Botox. Let's just be honest,
Yeah.
But they were like, and I was telling them Melania's had work done, and they were like, what? And I'm like,
You could tell a little bit.
I don't think she's gotten a ton. She was already beautiful, but you guys, women don't look like that at 50 without work done. Like, come on. I'm just being real here. I don't like butt implants. Well, look, there was something that Adam22 post. I know he's like scum of the earth or whatever, but he had a video where he was saying, you guys hate BBLs. I love BBLs. And he was showing these videos of like women in thongs. I don't know if I would be able to tell. I was like watching. Let me see if it's still up, BBL. And I was just looking at the butt and being objective here. I can't remember. Maybe it was on Twitter. I'll see if I can find it. And I was just being objective. I was just thinking, I don't think I personally would have been able to tell. But maybe I'll find this video because they've been getting better every year. Doug MPA, how are you?
Well, hey, Ship, how are you guys doing?
Awesome.
Good. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
What addictions do you look for in the women you're dating?
Well, debt is first foremost. I always say, guys, don't get with a woman with a whole bunch of debt. And that covers pretty much maybe 50 to 60% of women's addictions. The traveling thing, the student loans, all that stuff. Also, another addiction is social media addiction. Guys, if she has her face and her phone, and here's the thing, you have women, because you did a show about how women don't like men's hobbies.
Mm-hmm.
If a woman ever says, stop doing your hobby, tell her, if you can put down your phone, I'll put down the PlayStation 5 controller. If you can put down your phone, I'll stop watching football. And they can't do it. Another hobby is, girls outings. I've met women who say they have to do things with their girls. Like, I have to make time for my girls. I have to.
Isn't it weird too? Like, most of these girls outings are always at like nightclubs or like in areas where it's like single people.
Yeah.
It's never like, oh, we're going to the Himalayas to hike the Himalayas. It's always like, oh, we're going to Ibiza at the foam cannon party. We're going to Coachella girls night.
Yeah.
And they're like, can I come? No, it's a girls night.
You know what's funny?
We're going to some foreign country where freaking, Spanish Chad, where freaking nug wang in Asia can freaking blow their backs out. It's crazy.
Oh man, I went to my first festival ever. I went to Coachella 6 weeks ago, or whenever it was this year, and there was girls who I dated, and they were younger, and they whatever it was, they either ghosted me or they were just really annoying. And then I was at Coachella, and my business partner used to be in film and television, so I had like the backstage passes for free, where I can go backstage and like meet Wiz Khalifa, or I saw Will Ferrell or whatever. And all the girls who used to date me in San Diego that were there DM'd me like, oh my god, I miss you, I want to see you. I'm like,
of course,
girl, you want to see Wiz Khalifa. That's what you want to see. Like, you just want to go backstage so you can monkey branch to a higher value guy. No thanks. And
that's why I don't understand how, you're smart where you're not bringing women along with you. You'll see women where the only reason why they have access or they are where they are is because of the man that they're with. So them being that man's woman should be enough, but it's not. Understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and the problem today is like they have such access to play the game through social media so hard that they're selling their sexuality, but they don't have to give their end of the bargain, right? A guy can pay for their whole life, take them on yachts, take them on private jets, and they can still come up with an excuse to not smash. So, yeah.
Another theory I have about this is, it's late millennials and then Gen Z. the generation before them, the women were more concerned with material things, so like addictions to material things. But a lot of modern women have traded in wanting that handbag or wanting a nice car for travel, man. Travel is the new, like they'll set aside. It's like they don't even count travel as spending in a bad way. You know what I'm saying? They're like, well, I had to go on this trip. And you'll go on a trip with no money left over for when you get back. None.
I want to... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, the traveling, and then it's always just really bad planning. I find like when women plan trips, they're the worst planners on planet. They'll get a hotel that's like 2 hours away from the thing. Like,
so true.
Oh my god, dude! The worst mistake I ever made is I'm like very good at coordinating like trips and things, and I once made my ex do it because she was like, "You always do it, let me do it," and the amount of things she fucked up. Oh my god, dude. She wanted us to go to Disneyland. I lived in Southern California, right? She bought tickets for Disney World in Florida.
Oh my gosh.
I was so like oh my god. I like, you know when you're just so disappointed you just have no words.
Yeah, when I was so when I plan a trip, I make sure that because I'm very punctual. I hate being late. And every time that I've had a woman plan a trip, we almost missed a flight. The hotels weren't booked on the right day. Reservations, nothing went right.
Every time.
And it costs money every time you mess something up.
Yeah, and then I always have to pay extra to fix it. No, and then the crazy part is they also don't know how to dress. Like, you take them to a travel spot that's like notoriously cold. You take them to New York City in November, and they're there with like a tank top and high heels. But they brought 3 suitcases worth of that shit. They never thought to pack a jacket. No, it's a nightmare, total nightmare.
I have a BBL girl that I know got a BBL. Do you guys think most men would be able to tell?
So,
I think when it looks crazy.
I don't think most guys, I think most guys would
I want to
fall
say
for
one
this.
thing, because you keep saying that most men wouldn't recognize plastic surgery. I looked it up, and only 24% of Americans have gone through a cosmetic procedure. So most guys won't have to be able to tell, because most guys won't date a woman who's had plastic surgery.
Well, I guess my question is...
Wait, but doesn't that seem high, actually?
Yeah, because what percent of those are Gen Z? Because Gen Z women are a smaller percent of the population. That's my question. Like, because I wonder, a better question is what percent of Gen Z has had plastic surgery?
Well, if it's 24%, isn't that 1 in 4 girls have had work done?
And what percent are
1 in 4.
attractive? Because only like 25% of women are hot, like not fat. But this girl's got a BBL. If we share the screen, I don't know if you guys think that you would tell.
Yeah, that looks like a BBL to me. Because you look at the ethnicity, and then you look at the waist to ass ratio.
Yeah, the other one was okay. Don't share my screen because I know Lana wrote because I don't want anything in my sheet. Okay, I'll show it when make sure I have an appropriate picture. But this girl's
You don't want to Google Lana wrote.
Yeah, I know, but like I don't think most guys would really. I just think women get them because it works. Enough of them work that like, okay, here's her fully clothed. That's a BBL.
Yeah.
Here's
the thing. Modern women, they want attention. And at the time they're doing all this stuff, they don't really think about what kind of attention they're going to get. That's the problem. They just want attention because attention is their currency.
Well, they don't.
Well,
they don't know how to-
attention's
yeah.
attention's step 1. You don't get in the door if you don't get attention from men. Like that's why. So it's like, and I'm not even, because there's enough messed up BBLs. I'm saying there's enough that like men can't necessarily tell that I think more women are going to do it. There's a lot of messed up ones too. The surgery is relatively new, but
because before the BBL, you'd have women taking that commercial stuff and injecting it into their butts. Remember all those cases where they take that I forgot what it was, but they literally take some stuff from the hardware store and shoot it inside their butts. There are a bunch of black women who got arrested for doing illegal injections of industrial whatever into women's behinds.
Well, that's what
to get
Lana
them bigger
Rhodes
butts.
got.
Anything but changing their attitudes, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Is there anyone on the line or no?
Oh yeah.
Okay, you
So
gotta
I'm
bring
gonna
him up.
bring in Joy Gotti. You are first. Gotti, are you there? Unmute. Joy Gotti going once. Joy Gotti going.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. Hello.
Hello.
Yep.
Hey, I just run to these YouTube channel, so I was like, female addiction wars and hoes. So I was
sure.
Let me type in.
So tell me, what addictions have you seen that are worse than body count?
Worse than body count. You know what? I'm always around women class, right? I rarely hang around females that are, low bottom of the whatever rate you want to give those women guys. So it's kind of hard to say what I really think about that. Right? Do you have any suggestions on what I should think about it?
We can barely hear you. I don't know if you're far away from your microphone or
and
what.
I don't. If you don't have an answer, then don't call in. You know.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Let's just move on to the next caller.
just gonna
Thanks
move
for
on.
calling in. Just guys, if you're gonna call in, don't call in and like. Just I always appreciate people supporting the show no matter what, but it does kind of derail us if we don't, if we're not sticking to the topic, or if you guys come on and talk about whatever you want. So
we're gonna let in Grant. Grant, are you there?
Yeah, you're all right.
Hey, Grant.
Hello.
Hey, Grant. So
hello.
what addictions have you seen modern women have that you have dated that are worse than body count?
What? Fucking hell. Oh, I don't even know if I can swear. Say that again.
You can go right ahead.
Yeah, you could swear.
Yeah, what addictions do women have that you've witnessed in your life other than body count, other than being addicted to sleeping around?
Chaos.
Ooh, drama.
Good one.
Do you have a
he came in swinging.
Do you have an example from a woman you've dated?
No, I've only had one big relationship in my life that lasted for 8 years, and she was like an exception, not the rule. She like idolized me and looked at me as like a husband, and never stepped out of line. So I had quite a unique experience for a man. But dating and things like that as a man now, yeah, women are insane, and they're always thinking about themselves and what they can gain. Like, it's hard to find a woman that has any sense of humility or humbleness to the state of, like, they don't even want to know who you are anymore. They don't even think about, like, the actual individual of who they're talking to. They think about what you can give them. And they're childlike. They act like children. And yeah, women are insane these days. But most men act like women. Most men these days act like women as well. So like men are insane out here as well, right?
Yeah. So when you're dating and like you're like getting to know a woman, what would she say that indicates to you that she's addicted to chaos? Like what do you look for or hear?
Normie behavior, vaccinated normie behavior. Like she doesn't even have any sense of who she actually is, and there's no originality or individualism in her. She's acting what she's been taught to be normal, whether it's speaking like someone from TikTok, whether it's saying like certain things that are the same as everyone else. Like, it's very hard to find a girl that can be herself because she looks at the external social reality as a place to find out who she is. Like, no girl these days are willing to be unique because they think that will bring them out of the dating market, or like it won't allow them to. I think a girl acting like an individual makes them think that they won't be able to level up. They won't be able to get like that millionaire.
Because I think it's just when they always talk about how every ex they ever dated was so bad and a narcissist or whatever. To me, that's drama, chaos addicted women. Like, my ex did this. He was a narcissist. He was a Sagittarius, so we weren't compatible. Like it's like really, you can't find one thing you did wrong. That's actually a question I ask girls when they talk about their past relationships. I'll be like, okay, what can you name one thing you did wrong in that relationship?
Anything?
If they can't give me one thing, even if they say like make it the stupidest thing.
No, it's always I gave too much.
Oh, I gave too much.
Yeah. See, Pearl's always got it. Yep.
The only thing they gave too much is the pussy to the whole neighborhood. That's the only thing that they truly gave too much of. My God.
What Shiv is talking about usually comes, they talk about their ex, or they talk about past situations, and what do? They always tell the female-friendly version of the story. What is the female-friendly version of the story, guys? It's when they're the hero and the victim at the same time in the story.
I just wanted to ask this question to Pearl, because I watched you talk to Andrew Wilson recently. I think it was like a week ago or something. And he asked you what, because he was saying about like what's the way to resolve this, and you were saying I'm not here to say how to fix this. I'm just like saying how this is happening. What's happening factually, I'm just pronouncing. And you were saying that you thought the only way that things like this could be fixed in culture and society is like another like war, or like something really hugely dramatic to happen for women to like realize that they need men. Do you still stand by like fundamentally the only way women are going to wake up to like what they've become is, and realize how much they fundamentally need men, is when basically like shit hits the fan? Like, that's the only way.
I mean, at this point, I wonder if even they would do it then.
I think women are only changed when fear is high enough.
Yeah.
Fear is the only motivator for women.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't think it's going to be fixed in my lifetime. And I think anybody telling you otherwise is selling hope. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Somewhat. Yeah.
I just don't see I don't see any indication the trends are changing. I'm not a historian and I don't work in policy. So me saying I could fix this, I just think would be dishonest. So,
last question. Do you think as a culture, not just for women, but we still look for leaders, like people who aren't religious? We always need to look up to something. Do you think that there would be a potential for like, right now, how can I put it? Like, who's the leaders of our time in culture right now? I guess some people could say like Kanye West or people like that is kind
Trump,
of like an artistic leader.
Well, Donald Trump quite literally.
I don't know. I think people I think when people look to the internet or to culture for leaders, they just don't have people to look up to in their own life. So I think people should find people in real life and not on a screen, because I mean, I can tell you firsthand, you don't know who the people are like running these you don't know how they actually live. So
and then I would argue, see, men, we respect hierarchy, hard work. So men are more likely to recognize an authority on something, or something like that. Women, there is nothing that a modern woman will put over her own selfish desires. Nothing.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, well, we're going to move on to the next caller. Greg, call in anytime, buddy. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling in. Yeah, guys, and it would be so easy to just sell you guys hope. Like here, I can do it for a second. Let me be a trad con. All right, guys, traditionalism is coming, but we just got to bring back the nuclear family and get married and be a godly man and just fight the culture. We can fight it and be the change you want to see in the world. That's going to get you divorce scraped. Good luck. You know what I mean?
No proverb's going to save these hoes.
Yeah, I can't. Oh, but Pearl, won't religion? But my religion will fix this. Well,
Until it doesn't.
I've interviewed people from your religion and they took a big L. So I could pretend I didn't see it, but I did see it. So what do you want me to do now? But here's a study, Pearl. Don't believe your eyes. Study. Well, I'm sure your study says that your religion is right, but I'm a little skeptical because of this guy I saw lose his kid, you know.
You left the second half off. You say that first part, Pearl, but then you also got to say that, you know, women, somehow in the Bible, it says that women are equal to men, and you have to consider everything that your wife says. And, you know, you have to slide a little bit of feminism in there and then justify it with the Bible, too.
Yeah, and then you got to make sure you tell your husband he's not holy enough all the time. Yeah. And make sure you just point to all the verses he's not following 24/7. Just to make sure you guys don't divorce. Make sure you get a holy enough man to lead you to God. Jalen, the voice of Truth TV, welcome to the show. So the question today is, what addictions have you seen modern women or women that you've dated or known that are worse than a high body count?
Worse, just Pearl thing, just worse. You know why I seen things that's worse for these females? Because you know how these females ruined it, social media and feminism.
So
yes.
What is this from the example you're thinking of? Have you seen it from women you know or women that you've been dated or been in relationships with?
Seen it.
Both?
Both. I seen it.
Okay. So is there an example of a time you were dating a woman or that you knew a woman and it ruined the social media addiction caused problems? Go ahead.
I tried to date them, and next thing you know, they start cursing me out, telling me, "Ew, get away from me." Because they hate all men because of this feminist movement. Just Pearl thing.
So you take women on a date and they just randomly curse you out?
Yes, I try to take them out dates. Next, you know, I get cursed out for no reason.
Really? Just over could you tell me an example?
I try to speak to them, try to be nice to them. Next, you know, I get cursed out.
Damn.
Oh, you know what's a bad addiction? All the weird freaking diets the girls have.
Oh my God, that's a good
worst
one.
Diets, man. Oh, I don't eat anything that has that tilts to the left or whatever weird crap.
Gluten-free, keto, carnivore,
paleo.
vegan.
Oh my God.
Juice cleanse, and they're expensive. And you know what the worst part is? It's because they're too lazy to learn nutrition. They don't want to count calories, work out. So they're trying to circumvent the hard part by doing these crazy diets.
Yep. The diets are insane.
That's a good one.
Yep.
Seattle Sutton.
Yep.
Well, I'm sorry you got cursed out on dates. That's pretty rough.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
It's
he's
really
been
rough.
through it. He's in the dark room, huh?
Yeah.
I can just see it in your face. Is this a recent date or what?
Recent date, next, you know, she told me, "Ugh, I don't want you. You can have your money. Get out of my face."
Okay. I'm gonna ask the magic question. Was it a B-dub?
Yes, it was a B-dub.
Of course it was, man.
It was.
Do I know what I'm talking about or what? Right away.
You telling the truth, sir. You telling the truth.
This is not Pearl's beliefs. This is Doug MPA, but on my channel, I always say that American B-dubs are the worst women on the planet. Not all, but maybe 80%.
Yeah, most of them.
Why even bother, dude? Why?
I try to talk to them. Next, you know, Black American women just start going off on any man for no reason, including me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you just got to cheat, because you're already going to get the bullshit anyway. So you might as well do something she can yell at you for.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, where's the lie?
Yeah.
If I'm going to get yelled at, I might as well do something wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks for calling in.
Really
Call in anytime, okay? I'm sorry you're going through it.
Yeah. And freaking leave those B-dubs behind.
Yes.
Okay. We have Zora. And guys, make sure to like the stream, please, and subscribe if you haven't already. We are this close to finally hitting to 2 million.
Yes.
So to tell your friends, share the stream, and then sign up for the AudacityNetwork.com. It's $9 a month to be a member there. So sign up. And we have Zora. How you doing?
Oh, good, brother. How's the audio coming?
Good.
We can hear you perfect.
So
Good. Thank you.
what addictions have you seen that are worse than body count from women that you've dated, or just that you've known?
This might be a little bit too on the face, Pearl. Lying.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I can't see it being any more foundational of an issue, and it seems to me I've come up with this statement. It looks like every day interactions between men and women seem to be a repeat of what happened in the Garden of Eden, where Satan is always inching away at the female, and once that deception takes hold, whatever action that they have that they somewhat regret is when the lies just keep coming and coming and coming, and accountability is just not there. Like your previous speaker said, humility, if it's there, my two biggest enemies, my friends know this, I say this, are pride and vanity. And the way to kill it is with humility and self-sacrifice. So just like your friend Andrew Wilson says, a virtuous woman is one that puts her needs or others' needs before hers. I think that would fix this situation.
Yeah.
Well, let me know if you find one of those.
Yeah, I was talking to Pearl about this. Women are okay. To be a Christian, you have to espouse it, and you have to live by a certain set of rules. So you choose to accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, right? So you're choosing to live by that lifestyle and those rules. To be virtuous, you have to live by. You have to have virtue. Understand what I'm saying? Like, you have to live a certain lifestyle, have to live a certain way. Modern women are rewarded for not being virtuous. And what motivation does a woman have to be and stay virtuous over a man's lifetime? There's none. And I always say that women reserve the right to change their minds about anything in society, and everyone has to go along with it, especially men.
It says, Pearl Reed, nothing is more unattractive on a woman than financially irresponsible except obesity on the website. Guys, if you get on the Audacity chat on the website, it's unlimited super, so you don't have to donate every time to have me. All you got to do is put Pearl Reed in the chat, and I do read it. But yeah, that was a good answer. Lying. What's the craziest lie you've caught a woman in?
That she loves you.
Well, I would have to say that saving face type of situation where they want to always just come off as better than they actually look. So to think of a specific example, like there was one where smokers do this too. This drives me crazy. Like a guy would come up to me. He's like, "Hey, bro, do you smoke?" I'm like, "No." He goes, "Well, neither do I, but I enjoy a cigarette from time to time." So on that similar token, I had a female one time come to me and say like, I don't engage in this, let's say, substance, if I remember correctly, if she was smoking or something. She's like, "Do you do that?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "Oh, I don't either, but like, I enjoy it from time to time." She's like, "Well, do you or don't you?" How do you reconcile that? If you do it, you engage in it, then you're part of it. So it was one of those type of situations.
And is there any other ones you can think of off the top of your head?
Not too much, unfortunately, because I'm kind of I'm a homebody just because a family situation has me here. But the dating apps, I could tell you, are an absolute nightmare. And just what I've experienced through that is the females don't give you the time of day. Like they'll give you one message or two after you match up and they just disappear.
Yeah.
Whereas like I just want to be open-minded, give everybody as much chance as I can to see, hopefully this might be a decent person to spend some time with. And it just doesn't happen.
Yeah,
So
but fat
my
women are
hopes
getting thousands of matches, right? If you had 5,000 matches, would you give them all the time of day? No. Come on. Okay.
For sure.
Thank
you so much, Pearl.
Thanks for calling in. That was a great answer. Call in anytime, okay?
Okay, next we have...
Dude, the wine addictions are crazy too. When they
Oh,
have
that's
to
a good
drink,
one.
They have to drink a glass
Yeah.
or two every night to decompress. Oh my God, that's
What do you
Have you seen
decompress your easy life? Yeah.
Have you seen the hashtag mom juice?
Oh,
where these women are mothers and they think that they get to just drink wine because of all the stress of being a mom. So they literally drink a whole bottle of wine each night before they go to sleep. Yeah, that's a real thing.
Well, and also when women do that, it's like so scary because they'll just drink wine alone in like their room or like watching like Kardashians or some shit. It's like not social at all. I thought alcohol was supposed to be a social thing. Like, but the wine specifically, just them drowning themselves through a bottle. It's like, you know,
And
those are the
remember-
women who are going to drown their kids in the bathtub, you know?
I'd argue that wine is the most socially accepted alcohol in society. Like a lot of modern women, they don't consider wine real alcohol, so they don't recognize themselves as alcoholics.
Dude, when I lived in San Diego, it was normal for women to drink wine during the day, like as they worked and did stuff. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it was like very normal. Like, it was like very common in San Diego for women to just drink a few glasses of wine to get through their day. I'm like, what the fuck?
Like, what are you doing in the day that requires?
Yeah. Dude, it's wild.
Okay, we got Jay on the line. Welcome to the show, Jay. So the question today, what addictions have you seen that are worse than body count from either women you've dated or women that you know?
I think the worst addiction that I've seen that even transcends so many different generations today is this need to sexualize themselves. I think
Yeah,
it's,
that's a good one.
I mean, for example, I'm over here in Sydney. I actually live in a historical beach town, and we have a local library here that features pictures of the women that used to, you know, frequent this area about what, 70, 80 years ago. And it's amazing to see their attire. And then you compare that with the women who walk around today. And we're talking about not just the young women, but we're talking about supposed professional women. Now, I know, Paul, that you did a show a few days ago where you went through women who were dressed inappropriately for work. This is something now that I have seen right across the board for, I would say, the last, 10, 15 years. Give a woman any opportunity, she's going to show her tits. She's going to have the crack out. She's going to have the booty out. It's absolutely ridiculous. The worst place for the offense has to be the gym. I mean, the fact that you can get a woman today who will bend over, in front of men she doesn't even know, show her ass in all sorts of different positions. For me, it says that not only are we dealing with an addiction, we are actually dealing with a generation who have a personality disorder. And I would even go as far as saying, guys, I don't think it's their fault. You see, I don't believe that you can get, 2-3 billion women across different time zones, across different cultures and nationalities to suddenly descend into this debauchery purely by accident. We've mentioned that, for example, yes, it is social media, but what is it about social media that is just sort of carrying the mentality of these women over these generations? And I think that, for me, it's a concerted effort to really destroy women in a hope that to change their behavior so that effectively you destroy humanity. Because if we can't find women who can, dress appropriately, who, as the gentleman in the studio said, can't put themselves first and can't put their family or, moral convictions first and foremost before themselves, you're looking at a society destroyed. There's nothing that that we can do. And I actually think, Pearl, that you're absolutely right. until the enemies of humanity who are actually behind this pull the plug, we're not changing this. Because, as I say, we're looking at literally personality disorders here.
Yeah. Has there been an example of a woman you were dating and you had to dump her because of how she dressed? Has that ever happened to you?
Oh yeah, I mean, many occasions. I mean, one occasion, you know, a lady who she worked as an accountant for building contractors, and you know, I met her off the apps. You know, so I just assumed, look, this is going to be a decent woman. Anyway, so I chose a venue that was pretty central, one where you know people are normally you know, well dressed or what have you. And she's turned up. I don't know whether she was trying to impress me or whatever, but I mean, she's turned up. The ass is out, the titties are out, and of course, she was getting the attention that she wanted. And I basically, I mean, it was so bad. I decided I was going to cut the night short, and I blocked her and I never saw her again. Because here's the thing: I truly believe that as well as your own self-respect, you've got to be able to show that you're going to represent your man or the man that you say that you want to be with or you want to spend your life with. And if you can't even see to it to dress appropriately because, hey, you know, attention and validation means that much to you, you have that much of an addiction that you can't even temper it, then quite frankly, you've got no business being in my life or any decent man's life, you know?
Yeah. No, that's a really good answer. Doug MPA, you got anything to add?
You're talking about attire. So the whole M2 thing happened in the mid 2000s, right? And I want you to look up hashtag office siren. It's where these women are intentionally going to work wearing club clothes to see if HR flags them. Literally. So we were literally, so what, for the past 10 years, we've gone through, oh yeah, me too. And, you know, in the workplace and blah, 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 blah. Respect us in the workplace, our boundaries. And now women are intentionally going to work in club clothes to see if they get sent home. It's literally a thing. It's insane.
Well, I think basically, I mean, even if it's not maybe as calculated, I still think it comes down to this conditioned need for attention and validation. Because you've got to remember, look, this is a hack. It's not a surprise. It's not news that women have always wanted the attention and validation of her husband, her spouse, and her family. So, you know, those who wanted to hack humanity clearly knew that that's important to a woman. That's why she got married, and that's why she got married early.
I disagree. I disagree. I think women just wanted to leave. Like I think we give too much credit to these like elites that brainwash women. I think this is what we wanted to do. I know women that wanted to marry young, and they did. If women wanted to, we would.
Well, look, here's the thing.
And this is like across backgrounds. I've seen women, poor women. I've seen, you know, women from conservative families, women from liberal families, bad homes, good homes. Like, if women want to do something, they'll do it. So, I don't know.
But let's face it. I mean, the pull and the attention that you would get from this incessant drip-free feed from social media is extremely powerful. I mean, let's face it. We went from long-form videos to IG clips to now shorts. Why do you think that is? It's because it hits at the hormone receptors in a woman's brain. You do that, you can control her. You can control the messaging. You can tell her, strip off naked.
Yeah, but you can't market stuff.
You
can't market stuff to people that they don't already want.
It's like you can take someone who was 40% to 51%. You can't take someone from 0% to 100. So I don't believe
but then again,
it was in her anyway. She wanted to do that.
But look, I think that we're not disagreeing with each other. I think what we're looking at it from different points of view. What I'm saying is you've only got to have that as the catalyst, as the straw that breaks the camel's back. You can let society, you can let peerage do the rest. So there's no doubt about it. I think that you're absolutely right. I mean, she doesn't need much encouragement. I mean, for example, you can get a woman who will leave a conservative environment. You know, she'd even leave the church, travel to another country, and as you said earlier, Pearl, she's going to go somewhere where nobody knows her, so she can literally strip off. You know, jump on the pole,
Yeah.
and the excuse is going to be. You see what I'm saying? The excuse is going to be, oh, well, you know,
I don't know if the elites made her want to do that. I think she just wanted to go ride dick, you know? Like, they just said, here's,
Well,
you
but
can
you
buy a
have-
ticket yourself now, you know? Here's a credit card.
Well, you're going to have a catalyst because, see, here's the thing. The question we've got to ask ourselves is this. If we took the next generation and we removed social media and remove the pointers, is that going to have a significant change on women?
No,
Yes, it would.
it'll just change where they go to. They'll just now end up on, you know, in the college, you know, walking through the halls of a college or like a public place. They'll go to the mall all the time. Like, women are going to find ways to grift men, right?
yeah.
I guess social media makes it it makes it easier. The dating apps make it easier, but if you like, women are going to figure out a way to grift no matter what, right?
I think that,
like
you know,
yeah.
I don't think, I just don't think that callous, evil, or intelligent. But I do believe. Look, we
You
can
don't
all
think women
agree
were
that
throwing
are
it back
bad
at
place.
college like 50 years ago? Come on. Like, I don't, these women, man, do you know what? I know somebody that's around 70 that told me stories from back in the day. These women are like, about like before a lot of them got married, they would just go to bars. Like the 70s,
No,
you know.
but Pearl, was it prevalent? I mean,
Yes.
we can actually say
Woodstock was
we can actually say
huge.
hand on heart that most women today, most women are, you know, that they're addicted to attention and validation. 50, 60 years ago, you were looking at the conventional bell curve. Of course, there were going to be, you know, exceptions to the rule, but in general, come on. Definitely over the last 20 years, now for sure, you're looking at upwards of 80,
I mean,
90%
my
of women.
my belief is that women have always been like this. The reason I think this is because I interview women of all ages, and a lot of them tell me about the way it was. I just think there's no evidence. I think it's very convenient that when there's no proof, they can say that nobody was like that back then. I think now, like, it's just more out in the open. That's what I think.
Look, I'm looking at a picture of Edward Bernays here. Okay, Edward Bernays was the guy that was commissioned by the elites to run PR campaigns to change a woman's natural proclivities. Previous to that, because what they wanted to see was, hang on a second, are there specific ways that we can take control? And I don't think we can disagree that them having control is really.
I think that two things can be true at once.
Behavior.
I think we're saying like two things can be true at once, right? Like I think that if you're politically, it was really easy to use women as free votes for bullshit, right? So like, there's gonna be an agenda to tell women they're free, they're independent, they can do whatever, don't respect a man, because that's how you hoard votes, and it's an easy
money or
right
whatever.
or money or whatever, right? So I think there's an incentive to do so. Women spend all the dumb consumer purchases, right? So of course it's an easy stomping grounds, right? If like most of the clients in my business are men, and like I know that the level of service you have to have for that is way harder than, look at Gucci. They can just make a bullshit handbag for $7 and sell it for $17,000, right? And like there's not a lot of things in the men's world where the value is that you can grift that hard. So
but I disagree. I don't think women were brainwashed. I think women wanted to do it. I think it's just a way women convince men to take accountability off of them. We're brainwashed. It was these elites. I mean, that's a really good get out of jail free card. I didn't know. It's the brainwashing.
Well, look, as I say, look, there's not much that anyone could disagree with you there, Pearl. What I'm saying is I do think there's an overarching agenda. I mean, we're at a point now, basically, where most women are saying, oh, we can't find men who can even afford to, be providers, whatever else. And you got women who now they've got zero incentive to be wives and mothers. And in actual fact, there's not even an incentive to be good people.
No.
So the overarching end game is, well, there are no families. And when you've got, you've got AI now being introduced, and most people are wondering what's going to happen. I see a depopulation happening, to be honest with you, in about 10, 15
Well,
years.
that's facts already.
Yeah.
The birth rate is below replacement rate, so
Yeah.
you're 100% right.
There
That's
you
just
go.
stats.
Yeah, I think we give way too much credit to some evil people behind, like, look, people can make plans all day. I think it's what women wanted to do. That's just my opinion. I think people get way too wrapped up in the conspiracy, just for me. But that's my opinion. Sarah Stepp says, my mom was a military child. They would drink booze in the officers' lounge late at night with their dad sleeping in the house. Look, yeah, it's just betas back in the day. I just got bamboozled more, in my opinion. Like, because now it's a lot more out in the open, where before they could just do the get out of jail free card. I never did this. And there's people that have done like genealogy records that can confirm things like that, where they find out that like in a certain towns, more men like fathered more kids than they previously knew.
Okay.
Sarah Jacqueline King, Pearl Reed, Sarah Jacqueline King, attorney, is sentenced to 1 year, 9 months in federal prison. Sarah Stepp, it's not brainwashing. It was generalized generational condition. I just don't look. I mean, somewhat like, okay, if I saw an ad to like go be a mechanic, please don't interrupt me. Please don't. Okay, sorry. If I see an ad like to be a mechanic, it's like if I don't already. Nothing. I could watch that ad a million times. I'm never gonna want to do it. I hate fixing cars. I don't want to do it. It's the same thing with this stuff. If women didn't already want to do it, they wouldn't. So it's my opinion. But we got to move on to the next caller. So thanks for calling in. Feel free to call in anytime.
Oh, have a good one.
I don't really want to go down the conspiracy theory stuff too much.
Okay.
What's up, Scott?
Are you there?
Hey, Scott. How's it going?
Scott, you there?
Scott. What's going on?
Hey.
How's the Hispanic ladies, right? That was you the other day?
Yeah, I don't have any Hispanic ladies on deck right now.
No taco truck women to rizz up? No? Okay, so...
Only black girls out here talking to me today in Alabama.
Are you interested? Any cuties or...
I dated this black girl from Power 106, the radio station in LA that's like the huge hip hop station. Her name was Dee Dee Lee. Shout out to Dee Dee. She looked exactly like Aaliyah.
Dee Dee.
So that was cool. But other than that, I'm not really on deck for most of the black women.
So, what addictions have you seen from modern women that are worse than body count?
Okay, I got 3 for you. And caveat here is I have forgiven so many high body counts in my days. It's
they told you the number?
No, but it's like in my shout out to my Indian homie from San Diego. I don't know this guy's name, but
oh hey, I'm Shiv.
Bro. In San Diego, I grew up down there, and it's just kind of a cultural kind of accepted thing that like girls generally sleep around, and in my area, you weren't really like judging people negatively for that. There would just be like all the hot girls would get all kinds of attention from all the popular guys, and they would sleep around like turbo sluts.
Yep.
And so if you wanted to date any of these good looking women, it was just kind of a well accepted part of the deal that they had already been around the block quite a few times. And so nobody really had a big chip on their shoulder about body count. Later on in my life, that became more of an important thing to me. Now, if I date a girl that's like 25 and she has a low body count, I'm super stoked about that. But anyway,
they look, I had a lesbian assistant. I lived in La Jolla for 3 years, and even lesbian girls, there's a lot of lesbian girls, when they would say their body count with men, it was so high. And they would be honest because they're out of the game, right? And it was always 30, 40 guys they slept with before realizing they're lesbian. And I was like, that's a lot. Look, if I burn my hand on the stove once, I learned not to touch the fire,
Well,
right?
they're only counting probably full sex. They're not even counting like blowjobs.
Right, they're not counting fingering, blowjobs, you know.
Yeah.
Wait, so...
Hey, and you know, I like lesbians too. I'm like, I think I can save them all, man.
Wait, so when you said
well, if you want me to pass them over to you, I will.
So when you say you've forgiven body count, you just assumed they had a high one, or you knew people they slept with?
I just know multiple dudes that they've already dated before me.
Got it.
And so I'm like, all right, I know she's been with him and him and him, and now it's my turn, but I'm going to ride this out for a while because it's like she's nice arm candy or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What did you think it was? Like, just rough guess.
What, like
body count? Yeah, I'm just curious.
From the girls that I've been with?
Yeah, like that you were forgiving. I just want to know what you were How forgiving of a man are you?
I'm not forgiving like triple digit body counts.
Okay.
We're not talking like in the hundreds, but I would say most of the women that I have been in relationships with that were like longer than 3 months, they've probably been with at least 10 dudes before me.
Okay.
And then like
So 20.
Yeah, 20.
So 100.
I've had entertained ladies for like on and off as partners for a long period of time. That was just like a sexual encounter type of situation where they've got to be like in the 50s, 60s.
Yeah. So what have you seen that's worse than that? Like a worse
addiction?
addiction?
So the three things, I got three quick ones for you.
Okay.
Number one, dodging accountability, which people have already mentioned on here. Shout out to you guys. That's definitely top of the list. Number two is Instagram.
Okay.
And number three is shopping on Amazon.
Okay. And can you tell me how those things affected your relationships in the past or women you've dated?
Okay, yeah, starting from the bottom. The girl I'm thinking about with the Amazon addiction in particular, she would get like 2-3 Amazon orders every week. And I would be cutting up Amazon boxes and stuffing them in my trash. And like my trash can at my house is just full of Amazon boxes. I can't even put any trash in this shit. And I'm like, woman, I'm drawing a boundary here. You are not allowed to shop on Amazon anymore. Couldn't do it. Just couldn't fucking stop shopping on Amazon. So that was an issue for me because it was super irritating. And I'm like, I can forgive a high body count, but if you're going to be so fucking irritating in my own home, you know what I mean? This ain't your house, this is my house. You're coming over to my house. You're having Amazon shit shipped to my house. I'm telling you not to do it, and you keep doing it anyway. Like you think it's cute, and I think it's super irritating. And then Instagram is like, I have a theory that Instagram is like porn for women.
Okay. And so how did it affect your relationship?
Yeah, like imagine if you were dating it, like if your boyfriend was just like looking at porn on his phone in front of you all the time, wouldn't that be really fucking disgusting and weird?
Mm-hmm.
So I started developing this theory where like Instagram is like porn for women. And then it's like once you see it, you can't unsee it. So now every time I'm seeing this girl or various girls that I'm going on dates with, or whatever, like checking their Instagram, I'm like, that's fucking disgusting to me now.
Because it's just like it's like a box of dicks, basically.
It's like if I was just looking at hardcore porn on my phone while I'm talking to you, that would be fucking crazy. So yeah, the Instagram thing, it's like makes my skin crawl. There's nothing I like more than a chick that will like put her phone away and not look at Instagram when she's in my presence. And then like when you go back in your car and go home and do whatever, like check your Instagram as much as you want, like suck it up and get your fix. And then when you come around me, like do me a solid and put that shit away. And that'll make me feel like super pumped up about it.
And so dodging accountability, you have an example with that one? The ex-wife, huh?
Oh my God, which one? Which ex-wife? The ex-wife that dragged me into court and called the cops on me and had me arrested and took my kid and charged me hundreds of thousands of dollars, or the most recent ex-wife that was just like, Mercury is in retrograde, so I'm angry with you.
Where are these real stories?
These are real stories,
Damn.
bro.
Yep. It's brutal out there.
Damn.
Yeah, like the most recent experience I had with the one dodging accountability all the time, it was like what they say about women that are into astrology, that shit's true, man. She's like actually believed that like
I'm a Pisces. I can be a bad
stars.
person. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I'm a
Yeah.
Gemini, so I'm a bitch today and I'll be happy tomorrow and then I'll be a bitch again and I'll vacillate back and forth.
Yeah, I don't mean to cheat. I'm just a Pisces. Just Pisces energy.
Yeah, all day.
Oh, that's hilarious. You got
Yeah, and then props to you, Pearl, because I'm 100% with you on people do what they want to do, and you gotta like it breaks my heart to see all these dudes trying to like. First of all, I don't think women are super intelligent, but I don't think they're that stupid either. And I'm like watching all these people try to. I guess they're holding on to one last shred of hope that.
Yeah, it's
like,
just the elites
women got
that can,
brainwashed,
yeah.
or they didn't. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, man.
I mean, just
I'm with
in
you.
real
I'm not
life, you think Lily Phillips is brainwashed? She's banging 1,000 dudes. No, she loves dick. You know,
she's doing exactly what she wants to do, and it's hard to believe that a chick would want to do that, but they do, man. You just got to give them credit for what they do. So I'll put it to the dude like this: like they were doing massive amounts of abortions, like millions and millions of abortions before social media ever came out. You know what I mean?
That's
so it's not like they
true.
got brainwashed by social media to
And
kill off all their
divorce.
children.
That was in the 70s.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no
So
fault.
what are you blaming that on? Like the telephone was invented? Like where did we go with this shit? You know what I mean?
No, I had a relative tell me stories, and she's like in her 70s. And I'm like, yeah, these women are always throwing it back. So
Right.
I mean, I think it's just like the betas back in the day got bamboozled harder. Like the wife could get away with cheating way more. And
Yeah,
he just
for sure.
like now there's more the women probably do it more often because there's more opportunity. But like back in the day, how would she get caught? Like if he's at work and she brings a dude over.
Yeah, maybe the only thing you could bring up is, I guess, when there wasn't as much birth control, she had to like only cheat with guys that kind of look like her husband, so then he could raise a kid that's not his.
Damn, dog.
Yeah, but it was more homogeneous back
Right,
then
that's
anyway.
true, that's
you know,
true.
like I think it was mostly German and like British roots.
Right.
Mostly. So it's like
And even back then, they always figured out a way to abort the kid, whether it was legal or not.
yeah, and even I've heard this argument so many times though. The elites, they're just, and I'm like, what girl convinced you that she was brainwashed? She threw it back in college. Do you know what I mean? Like who? That she, oh my God, I would hear these women.
Yeah, men have been killing each other over women for as long as you have written history. That, You know,
Dustin says, Pearl, read, I did a report on women cheating in college. And it's recorded that it was permissible that a woman could sleep around when men were at war in the 1600s. Women were bicycles before they knew what it was. Yeah, man. Nobody's brainwashed. Women, like, come on.
Yep.
Like,
You know
and the
that
thing is,
by,
I met women in school that wanted to be married young, and they got married. They did it. Do you know, like,
Right.
and I think that's the hard thing. Like, it's kind of like the person that works out, like that it says they want to lose weight, but they don't work out. They don't get a nutritionist. They don't go to the gym, you know, and their actions reveal they don't want to work out. And that's the same thing with women wanting to be mothers, wives, and like women don't want to be in relationships. If they did, they would.
right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was a sales manager at 24 Hour Fitness for like a decade. So like what you're saying is absolutely legit. Like when people want to do it, they just do it.
Yeah.
And when they don't, they won't. They'll find all the excuses. They'll either find excuses to do it or they'll find excuses not to do it. But
yeah,
they will do what they really want to do all the time. There's no brainwashing people. You can like the homie said, my boy from San Diego right there, you can kind of push somebody a little bit with your influence from like 41% to 51% or whatever.
Mm.
But you're not going to take somebody from 0 to 100. That shit is not happening. People
Or-
will come in to buy what they want to buy.
Mhm.
And like,
Yeah.
for the most part, if you don't talk them out of it, you'll be all right.
Well, and that's the problem with the conservative men, right? Like they just think that, oh, we go to church every week, so she's going to reform and change 100%. It's like, you're not changing, you're not turning an elephant into, you know, a giraffe. Like it's just not how it works.
Or they
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
she was just like a good girl surrounded by bad people, but I'm like, she chose the bad
Right.
people. Do you know? Or like, you know, like when a girl's like kind of sweet and then she like gets around some hoes and then she becomes one.
Yep.
But she chose the hoes. She could have chose well, there's not many.
She liked the hoes. She liked the Hoeing.
Yeah, you know, like it's
yeah.
like the women that like date criminal. They want to date. They're not tricked into. They want to date the criminals.
Right.
It's and same with the guys simping. Right. They want to simp. They do.
It is. We want to believe that like being nice to girls is going to be like getting us all the relationship, you know, points that we want to have, and like being nice to girls is going to get us all the sex that we want and all the good, warm, fuzzy feelings and everything. Man, it's such a burn.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Thanks for
Cool.
having me.
Thanks for
Yep.
calling. Call in anytime. Okay, Scott.
Yeah, I'll catch
See
you
you,
later.
Scott.
Okay, and then we have one last caller. We're gonna
Yeah,
let
it's like they
Brad
say, I
in.
didn't know. Do you know what the worst part? My least favorite. I didn't know about birth control would make me infertile. And I'm like, bitch, you turned off your fertility. Like, what did you think was going to happen? And then they're like, oh, I didn't know. I was tricked. Well, that's your own fault. Like, that's your fault for being stupid. You're 18. You're an adult. Like, what the?
I mean, God, we have so many double standards of when we consider people adults or children, right? We have so many double standards on it.
Yeah, it's just, hold on. Let me find, apparently someone super chatted. Yeah, and if you don't know, it's your job to figure it out. Like, men don't know how to make money. They figure that out.
Right.
Men don't know how to get women. They figure out, you know. And if you're not taking the time to figure it out, then you didn't want it that bad. Yo, Pearl, a mutual friend mentioned we're in the same area. I would love to connect. What area are you in? Look, yeah, you're gonna. I don't really do collabs unless I'm paid, to be honest. Sorry, dude. Daily Driver, thanks for super chatting. Let me see. Okay, did he get on the call or no?
Brad C, are you there?
You there, Brad?
Yes, I'm here.
How are you?
I'm good. Sorry, I would turn on the video, but I'm on a walk with my dog around
alright.
the
All
forest,
good.
so I don't want to overload the bandwidth so I don't lose the call.
No, you're okay. Where are you calling out of? What part of the country?
About 15 miles north of Seattle, Washington.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, you can imagine the choice of women out here is fantastic.
All those liberal tech women, it's like San Francisco where I live. Except it's rainier and more depressing.
It's more of like a try to find one without a nose ring and purple hair.
Well, Starbucks
also,
was created
remember-
in Seattle, so all those baristas, right?
That's the land of the women who could be pretty, but they make themselves ugly to fight the patriarchy.
You are not joking. They actually
know.
intentionally make themselves ugly. Yeah. Speaking of tech, okay, so the addiction that I wanted to bring up was social media related. I actually have two exes that were kind of basically addicted to social media. My ex-wife was it was nothing but TikTok scrolling and Instagram scrolling while she was unemployed for like 6 months. She would spend 18 hours a day just doing that. And while it was annoying, it didn't really cause a whole lot of problems other than it was just like, hey, how about we watch a movie and she couldn't put her phone down? But whatever. I mean,
Can I be honest? I also think girls who would know everything about every TV show and movie are also red flags. When it's like a girl's watched every episode of every show and every movie and every like all the drama and like knows every celebrity, like that's as bad too, so I agree.
Yeah, agreed.
Oh man,
And
when I was
she
in
knew all these
LA,
actors and actresses. She knew all these actresses and actresses on shows that I had never even heard of, like all these obscure Netflix specials. Like what? But the real kicker was this girl I dated for a few years, a little while back, and she had a Facebook addiction before Instagram and Twitter came on the scene. And she was kind of a social butterfly, and she was a single mom. Couple of red flags there, should have known. But the biggest problem was she knew, like I worked at a big insurance provider, the biggest. I won't name drop, but I'm sure you can guess. Discount, double check, and she knew all of the people, almost all the people in our building, and was friends with all of them. And every single thing she wanted, every single thing her and I did, she would post online. And then every single Monday when I'd get back into work, I had people asking me, "Oh, how was your trip to the pumpkin patch? Oh, how was your?" I could never tell a story, to the point where everyone knew everything that was happening in my life without my knowledge, because I never used Facebook.
Right.
Oh.
And she would post really personal things too, like we had she had a 2-year-old baby girl, and one evening we were being all cute, like we were getting ready for bed. It was super adorable. I was in my underwear, we're getting ready for bed, brushing the baby's teeth, and it was all fun. And we're laughing and giggling, and she's filming, and I'm like, "Oh, cool! This would be a cool memory." She posted that online.
Yikes!
And all of my coworkers saw it, and she'd already friended all of my family. Everybody saw it, and my parents are calling me like, "What the heck, dude? What is going on?" It was humiliating. It's like me in my underwear on the internet for all to see. I mean, it was fine. It was actually really cute, but it's like, what are you doing?
And I bet she saw nothing wrong with it. She thought you were overreacting.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the
She thought there was nothing wrong. She's like, "What? It was cute." And I'm like, "Yeah, it was cute for the 3 of us." And that's where it should have stayed. It was cute. It was a nice family moment.
Yeah, it's so awful. It's so awful when girls, like, especially when you're dating, and they post all these amazing things they're doing, but it's so obvious a man is like they're just going on a lot of dates, and then they just pretend as if that's their life, as if they're just not a serial dater, and a guy's paying for all those experiences. So that's always like very annoying. I'm like, "Oh, awesome! Now I know that you got fucked in Ibiza. Like, I'm happy to know that before the next time we see each other. Good to know."
Well, I think she probably took advantage of the fact that I was not on Facebook, because I just got tired of it. So she was posting all the stuff, and I would find out from other people what she was posting. I would find out from family members, be like, "You might want to talk to her about this, because we know everything you did over the weekend." And I'm like,
"You're giving me flashbacks." Oh my god,
it was horrible.
Yeah, that sounds awful. Thanks for.
And she was like,
"Go ahead."
Yeah, she just knew everybody in the office.
Yeah.
So like, I had no privacy, and she had no real like social filter on what was acceptable and what wasn't to be posting. And she's an ex for a reason.
Yeah, that's brutal. And that's worse than you'd take a high body count over that.
Yeah, and then when we broke up, because she was already friends with all of my family, because she reached out to everybody, she was pissed, and scorned woman. She told everybody. She just like blasted everybody that I was doing this and that, and cheating on her with this and that, and doing X, Y, and Z. And I deactivated my Facebook account. This was 2017. Haven't touched it since.
Damn. Damn. And so you would how many bodies would you take over that? Like a girl who didn't do that, but had a high body count, how many would you take? Like how 100 bodies, okay. But that's never a problem. Would you take it?
If she was reformed and like had been on the straight and narrow for a few years, I would probably go 20, 25.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because of the crap that was.
That's what I mean.
I mean,
It's like being likable, men will pick over purity any day.
I mean, because you said you're like, what addictions are worse than body count? And I would say almost all of them, because like one of your previous callers was saying, that comes to your home. She can put the sex behind her and pave a new path. The addiction never leaves.
Correct.
It stays put. You know, I mean, I wouldn't go as far as like a porn star. That's a little much. But if it's truly in the rear view mirror, we can work on the future. But the addictions like that, she was just looking for attention. And the most annoying thing is every time we'd be in the break room, she would always be flirting with the other guys, being like, I'm a single mom. And I'm like, we've been dating for 3 years. Intentionally telling people you're a single mom really gives them the wrong idea, because you're not single.
Yeah. And at least if the girl cheated, right, if you're with a woman with no addiction and she cheated, you know, because that's kind of what it goes back to, at least then the relationship's just over. Everyone didn't have to know about it. You know what I mean? Like if you date a really promiscuous woman and maybe it was a good experience, but she cheats, like, you know, at least then everyone doesn't have to know about it. Where this other woman, maybe she's not as promiscuous, but everybody knows about everything.
I mean, like you said, I would just take the L and move on.
Yeah.
But no, I had to answer to everybody in my family. My aunts, my uncles, my cousins, like my brother, my mom, dad. Like, everybody was like, Brad, what happened? What happened? I'm like, oh my gosh, are you serious?
And then you got the women trying to guilt you into like fixing it.
Well, what's worse is she logged into my computer and sent all those messages out to everyone from my account.
She's nuts.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Cool. I'm sorry you went through that. I hope you find someone younger, hotter, and not on social media, Brad.
It's going to be tough, but we'll keep trying. Anyway, first-time caller, long-time listener, love your work, Pearl. Thank you very much for the option. I haven't talked about this with anybody in like 7 years, so.
Cool.
Love it.
Yeah, call in anytime. That was a great story. Well, not for you, but it was entertaining. Doug MPA, is there anyone else on the call?
Yeah, we have Dan P. He sent me the last one.
Okay. I have a super chat, apparently. Let me look. If a woman has a box of Sex in the City, run. Pooping while standing. What is this username? Dan P., welcome to the show. What is a worse addiction than being a hoe for women?
I think you guys touched on it a little bit already, but it's this like bullshit spirituality type stuff.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Whether it's like tarot, what's like Wicca,
horoscopes,
like
chakras.
Yeah. And you know, like what I notice, it's like all these types of like belief systems or whatever, it's all about how the woman can get like things that they want out of life. Like not like how can I make the world a better place, not like how can I be a better person. It's just like how can I manifest like bullshit.
Well, let's be honest. Most
know?
of these spiritual, and I wonder if you agree, Dan, but I think a lot of the spirituality stuff women do is just learning how to gaslight better. It's just learning, he's really not matching my chakra right now. You know, Tyrone, you know, I just really need to cheat on you with my husband because you and I have a connection. We're the right, you know, rubies or whatever. Getting a PhD in gaslighting and being like covert. That's all spirituality is when women do it. Because it's like it shouldn't involve hot yoga and stones and crystals and like
a jujitsu instructor,
right? Like, why is it like if spirituality existed if it existed for 7,000 years, why is it when women do it, it's like $20,000 to be spiritual? like you think back in the caveman days, they were like meditating with these expensive like red light beds and all this weird stuff they're doing.
Dan, how many bodies would you take over that bullshit?
How many bodies?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know, man. I just like I'm so black-pilled on the body count. It's just like any girl that I'm with has just like been ran through, so I just
So you're taking like 50 over that. Like 50 bodies doesn't talk about that stuff over
okay, like 30,
over
30, 30.
30.
Let's go to 30. Like
ladies, listen. You can sleep with 30 men. And you are be more likable than the girl that just talks about spirituality. That's how much men hate this bullshit.
Yeah. Well, and it's a get out of jail free card because like they can be a bitch or whatever for it's like, oh no, I drew the Queen of Pentacles this morning. I knew it was gonna be like a bad day. I'm saying, I read my stones and it just threw my day off and therefore I could be a bitch to you for like the last 2 days. So, the other one that I think you tweeted about the other day, which I think is maybe under discussed, is women love to take credit for like the man's what their accomplishments are. Like, and this goes for moms too. Just like, you can graduate with a PhD and it's just like, oh yeah, that's because how I raised you, or I made you study when I was like 5 years old, and then they can tell their friends. Or like the girlfriend be like, oh yeah, I stood by you while you built your business and this and that. When they don't realize that they actually made shit more difficult. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, totally.
It's like, no, actually I would have accomplished that in half the time if you weren't nagging me.
Tell me, how many bodies is that worth?
This is such a weird question, but that's worth probably more because it's like we want to get shit done. So it's like if you're leaving me alone, maybe 60, If I'm able to like triple my income in a year, that's a lot. So, if you can, and I think what you say is true. It's like, if you can just care enough to lie to me about it, I'm actually okay with it. Like, just care enough not to out yourself. Okay.
Annoying women and quote unquote pure women all have the same body count, so who cares? I'll take the one that like is more tolerable. But
how many bodies is that worth to you, Shiv? Leaving you alone and letting you work and not taking credit
like
for your
7,000.
Doug MPA, what about you? How many bodies is that worth?
For peace and quiet, infinity.
Yeah.
Doug MPA, what about you? Is he there?
Go ahead.
I said Doug MPA, how many bodies is peace and quiet worth to you and not taking credit for your success?
That's worth its weight in gold. That's platinum right there. Because people have no idea how much, women have no idea how much peace means to a man.
Oh, that's so funny.
Dude, all men want is peace and sex. That's it. They can't figure out this formula, bro.
That's how Lily Phillips is going to get married. She's just going to learn to shut up.
I'm telling you.
And I think one of the worst things you can do is be a successful man and get with a woman and she tries to compete with you somehow, like with your success. I've met guys who are successful and then they marry some woman. That's why you see a lot of rich men have to give their wife some kind of clothing boutique to run or something like that. Or the average guy, his wife will get in some kind of multi-level marketing or something like that. So she's
multi-level marketing.
She's a businesswoman or an entrepreneur, and it's like, come on now.
It's like
really?
It's like when they give Jeff Bezos' wife credit because she did some accounting in the beginning.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I might have to have my wife have some side bullshit business that loses me 10 grand a month just for some peace and quiet, because that's going to make me more than the 10 grand in my business if I can focus.
Yeah. Or even worse, Shiv, you have women who are married to rich men who are known for their philanthropy. So they're known for giving away the guy's money. That's what they get credit for that.
Well, they are
That's
good at it considering
philanthropist.
they took half themselves, right? So, it's like how you do one thing's how you do all things.
I know. Mackenzie Bezos, everyone applauds her because she's giving away her money.
Wow, I can't believe I
right?
gave away the $43 billion I didn't deserve. And now I only have like 22 billion of it. Wow, I'm such a great human. And then if you look at the causes they donate to, these are like scam charities. Like these are charities that donate only 2% of the money actually go to the cause. So it's all I have a whole hot take on like a lot of these charities are nonsense. But
that's so
funny. Here's another one along those lines. It's like animals. Like things relating to animals, like animal charities or
PETA.
like exactly. It's like, and as a guy sometimes, I don't know if other people feel this way, but it's just like, do you love dogs more than me? Like
if they're addicted to activism, like any of those, like if they're just always into causes, fuck no, I'm out.
I had an argument with a girl one time, just like over Michael Vick. I'm like, you know what? The dog fighting, it's like, it's not that bad.
That's because I honestly think that America, particularly women, value dogs' lives more than human lives. They value dogs' lives more than their unborn children's lives.
Well, it's because a dog only lives like 13 years, right? So where like a kid, they have to stay in contact with a husband they have to stay married to. So, there's dog sitters, they can just kind of neglect the dog. So it's messed up. But
yeah, it's like sometimes in the back of your mind, woman behaving a certain way. It's like, you wouldn't treat a dog like this. I know you. Like, you treat me like this, but you wouldn't speak to a dog that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
cool.
But
thanks for calling in, Dan. That was a great story or a great answer. So call in anytime, okay?
Yeah, avoid the tarot deck at all costs and the crystals.
Yeah.
I was gonna open up a speakeasy based on astrology because I know all the women would go to it.
That's so.
It was one of my side hustles. I was
thinking about how men will go to women's hobbies to meet women, but women will not go to things that are men's hobbies, like fishing or like shooting,
not at all.
Or if they do, they're like old and not attractive by the time they get there.
Yeah. Well, women won't even go to women's hobbies. They won't go to the WNBA or any of these. They don't support their own things, which is why that's why feminism in and of itself needs men to support their shit because they can't do it themselves. No. They have half of our money in divorce and they can't use that money for their own shit. It's amazing.
I know.
It's really a miracle, but
they just give it to the animals.
But to be fair, this economy, if it was just run by men are happy just living in a studio apartment with a mattress on the floor and an Xbox, and
they're like, this is great. Peace and quiet.
I know. Oh, it's awesome.
All right. This was a fun show. We had a lot of callers today. Thanks so much, guys. It really makes the show when you guys call in. So please keep doing so. I really appreciate it. You got any thoughts on the show today, Doug MPA?
Just a lot of women, they're addicted because, once again, what's most important to them are their own selfish desires. And that's why, like the Andrew Wilson debate, he doesn't realize that. Oh, yeah, virtuous women, but they're all selfish women. And remember, the goal of modern women is to find an ambitious, accomplished guy, get in a relationship with him, and then have him set his dreams and ambitions aside to help her achieve her own selfish desires.
To pay for hers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you said in the beginning monologue, modern women with their addictions, they'll spend their money, your money, the government's money, everybody's money.
Yeah. Well, thanks for calling in, Doug MPA. Shiv, thanks for coming.
Yeah, this is dope.
Plug your channel too.
Oh yeah, it's youtube.com/Shiv, SHIV. Aiyar. I'm sorry for my name. My parents gave it to me. But that's the channel. SHIVAIYAR. I have a YouTube channel. Teach people how to make passive income through SEO.
You got any final thoughts today?
Yeah, with women, it's really simple. Whatever women say, just add the word right now. They mean that for all of the 20 minutes they say it. So they're virtuous right now until they decide and their circumstances allow them not to be. So all these things just don't matter because it's temporary, you know? But yeah, if you want loyalty, get a dog.
Okay, guys. Thanks so much for calling. Thanks so much for calling in, everybody. It really makes the show so much better. So please keep calling in. Like the video on your way out. Subscribe to the channel. Please ring that notification bell, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.